Yes, we are here with more of what's going on with Emmanuel. What's going on, everybody? Hope everybody's weekend was great. Yes, we are here with more. Turn this down. For everybody here, thank you for joining. We're about to start this in a few minutes. Because we got some people wondering, we got people out here wondering if Emmanuel even really existed. And we got people wondering if Emmanuel even belonged to them in the first place. Hey, Being Baby, what's going on? Good to see you doing good. Hope your weekend was great. Holiday was good. Yeah, we got people. I keep getting comments on my videos, and it's not by the same person. It's by different people. But I keep getting comments on my videos. Um, some people are saying, just wondering, if Emmanuel was real, or even if Emmanuel was really theirs. Some people are saying that he could have been a kidnapped kid or a kidnapped baby, that they probably stole him. Some people are saying that they could have sold him off, And hey, I'm here to take all that. I'm here to listen to it all. I'm here to see if we can break down some of this evidence, some of this facts, and maybe you can get down to it. Hey, what's going on, Donna? Affordable Baskets by Donna. Sounds like you sell baskets. Make sure y'all get up Donna for a basket. Thanks for joining. Yeah, the case is very weird. It is weird, and I hope he is found too. I mean, we all hope he's found alive, right? But so there was another. So some of the neighbors have came out, and actually, let me see if I can bring this up. Some of the neighbors have came out, and they're starting to speak now. And one of the neighbors said that they don't think they'll ever find Emmanuel. That's what one of the neighbors said. Then one of the neighbors said they don't think they'll ever find Emmanuel just because of the wildlife and the terrain that's in the area. So if Emmanuel was dropped off or left in one of these mountains, for you guys that are not familiar with San Bernardino, Bean Baby lives in San Bernardino, so Bean Baby knows San Bernardino is a lot of mountains, there's a lot of hills, there's a lot of coyotes out there, a lot of that stuff, wildlife going on. It's not like LA or Los Angeles, it's different. So you got a lot of coyotes out there and a lot of land. So anybody that gets dropped off out there, especially if they're not alive, can get eaten up by, the wildlife that they have. Kobe's plane crashed in Cabazon. You think Jake would be weird and take baby where if he really did? But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's weird. Here from Pensacola, Florida. Oh, we got another person. Oh, thanks a lot, Dee Dee. Yeah, I'm down here in Florida too. Down here by Tampa. Yeah, it's a very sad case. And I'm seeing if I can find the video. Hold on. With the neighbors. Because the neighbors are coming out saying they don't think that he's going to get found. But I did see like I was saying earlier, which I want to get into, I did see that there's some people leaving comments on some of our videos. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Before we get into that,
the neighbors
it's the Pascal show.
That Emmanuel will never be found. Surroundings that this baby boy may never be found. And yes, guys, we're keeping an eye on this whole case. We're still wanting to know what the heck happened here. Obviously, the most important thing is where is Emmanuel? Where is this little baby? Okay, and we still don't know. We still have not heard.
All right, yeah. So, like he said, like at Pascal, check out the Pascal show. He's great. But like he said, we don't know, or the neighbors are coming out saying they don't know if the baby was, or if the baby will ever be found, just because of the wildlife that's out there, which is sad. It is very sad. I don't see Jake confessing anytime soon. I really don't. You know why I don't see him confessing? Because if he confesses, think about it, he can't beat his case, right? But as long as Emmanuel is out there somewhere, he has a chance that he can walk and go free like he did last time. The same thing with Rebecca. Now, if Rebecca breaks and confesses, I won't be shocked. I could see her breaking and confessing just because of maybe guilt. But I don't know. And then there's also Rebecca, I guess, left her kids or left her husband and kids. I don't know if, did you guys hear about that? That Rebecca was married and left her 2 children. Did you guys hear about that? Yeah, Jamie Kick, did he ever exist? Some people are actually leaving comments on my YouTube, asking if he ever exists. And you know what? I don't blame them. I can't sit here and be like, no, he did. Because none of us, we have pictures online, but think about it. We see AI videos every day, right? I'm not saying he's AI, but I can't blame these people for asking that question. I think he was on let's see here. Yes, but I've seen coyotes only chase live. Yeah, usually they do chase live animals. But here's the thing. What if the coyote's hungry and hasn't ate because there's nothing live? They haven't caught anything live. And what if Emmanuel was left out there, let's say he was fresh, and the coyote was hungry, right? It can happen. I think he was unalive 68 weeks. So I don't think they will find him. Some people even left comments that August 5th is what the police say is when he was probably unalived, right? August 5th was also when Rebecca went to her nephew's funeral, Charlie's funeral. Some people are even asking, was he buried with the nephew? Was he buried with Charlie? Did Rebecca sneak him some sort of way in the casket or in the burial and nobody was looking? Some people are even asking that question. Hey, it's a question, right? Did you see the new witness interview? Which witness? Oh, so she did leave her kids, Dee Dee. Yeah, so I saw that. I know I wasn't tripping. I think I was driving and I heard that. So yeah, so she left. She was married and had a husband and left them. Now, did she leave them for Jake? That part I didn't catch. I probably can look it up now, though. Yeah, a lot of people are seeing that. Think about this. Far as to my knowledge, Jake's mom, I don't know if she's all the way there, but one report was saying she missed the baby. Another report was saying that she never saw the baby. It was conflicting reports with her. And I don't think Rebecca's mom ever saw the kid either. I don't think so. And then they go into the house and there's no evidence that the kid was even there. Remember that? Remember they said they went to the house. There's no kid clothes, no nothing. Remember? But they said there was some baby clothes in a dumpster that could have been his. But here's the thing. If Emmanuel never went to a doctor's office, how would they have Emmanuel's DNA? If he never went to a doctor's office and never got a checkup or nothing, how would they even know the blood they found? How would they even know that's his? Rebecca's ex-husband spoke to other creators and were married 11 years and had a normal marriage. So they were married 11 years and had a normal marriage. So Rebecca was married for 11 years and had a normal marriage. I wonder if she was doing anything behind his back, like drugs or anything like that. Under the casket, ground would be soft. Hey, some people are saying, hey, If she pulled that off, I would not think about this. If you wanted to get rid of somebody, what is the best way to do it? If you really think about this, you either got to find some way where the evidence don't exist, which is kind of hard because I think bones are very hard to get rid of, right? But if you can get them buried in with somebody else who's already buried, nobody nobody digs up graves really. So if you can get that part done, yes, her ex stated she left them to be with Jake, is what I heard. So she did leave them to be with Jake. Interesting. Let me see here. Let's see what we can find on that. Because like I said, I didn't really see too much on that about Rebecca being married. I just heard about it, I think, while I was driving or something. Rebecca Harold was married. Let's see if something pops up on YouTube with that. Or maybe I'll just put it in Google real quick. Rebecca Harold was married before. Let's see what pops up. Was married, left husband. Come on, Google, don't fail me now. All right. Let's see here. Oh.
It's stated, allegedly, that she abandoned them. The ex-husband didn't know that she was remarried, didn't know that she had more kids, nothing. And I have sources within the family that said that they didn't talk to her for 3 years until just recently.
And up until this story happening. So, in other words, her old quote-unquote family, right?
Correct.
So what's up with the dad? How exactly do you know the dad? Football. And what was...
All right, so that was it on that. So I don't know if you guys heard it or not, but she said that, yeah, she left the husband and had 2 kids with the husband. And they didn't even know that she got remarried. Wait. How did she get remarried if she was already married? I know it's possible. I know you can go get married if you're already married, but that's against the law, isn't it? Isn't that against the law to marry somebody if you're already married? You guys tell me. See, who's the white girl standing by Rebecca at the funeral? I don't know. Good question. I never really looked. I saw the videos of the funeral, but I never really tried to see who is who. The only person I was really focused on was Charlie, who was the person that passed away, which I pulled up his record. He was a drug addict as well. Yes, please hit the like button. Thanks, Jamie. Now, like you said, plot twist. The baby was stolen. Now, remember this? You guys remember this?
What in the heck is going on here?
It's going to end up going into that burning the house down now. I mean, it's already started on the house, guys.
You guys remember this house fire across the street from their house?
It's a house that is right next door across the street from the Hora family.
So, yeah, it is illegal. So how? Yeah, that's what I thought. It's illegal. So if she was already married to the husband, how did she marry Jake? I mean, if they probably went to a different state, Nevada's not far. I think Nevada's like 3 hours away from them or something like that. 2 hours, 45 minutes, whatever. So they probably could have went there and got married and, just came back and just did it. But yeah, that's against the law. But you guys remember the fire, right? So some people, this fire happened, I want to say maybe the day after they got arrested. It was the day after, and supposedly it was all caught on film. It was 2 homeless people that they're saying that caused the fire and pretty much just walked away like they didn't even do anything. And the news cameras were there because it was the day after they got arrested. So they caught it all on film. So some people are wondering, there's a couple theories going around. One theory was that they were meant or sent to burn down Jake and Rebecca's house. That's one theory. But they got the house wrong and burnt down the wrong house across the street. One theory is they were sent to burn down Jake and Rebecca's house to burn down whatever evidence that was in the house, because it was the day after they got arrested. Whatever evidence that was there, or it was just somebody like, I hate these people, I'm burning the house down type of thing, right? Another theory is they burnt down the right house, but they were burning down that house because there was evidence in that house and need to get rid of it. That was another theory because they never really explained why think about this. I never saw them explain why two homeless people went and burned down the house across the street. Think about it. We saw it like once, but they never really like spoke about that at all. We hear more about the guy who broke into Jake and Rebecca's house, the guy who broke in the house and started selling the tickets for tours. We hear more about that than the actual house across the street catching on fire and burning down. We don't hear about that much. So there was people trying to connect that with the Harrells or the Harrells, you know, which I don't know. It could be a connection, maybe not, you know. Maybe common law marriage, no paperwork. So you're saying the house across the street had cameras, and that's why they probably burnt the house down, because the house had cameras across the street. I mean, that can make sense because, like I said, the second theory is they were sent to burn down a house to get rid of evidence. And people were wondering, like, what's the evidence then if they're trying to get rid of some evidence? Another theory was that the people across the street, I guess, used to party with Jake or something like that. That was what one. I don't know if it's true or not, but they said the people across the street. Think about this is Jake's. So Jake stayed on his family's property. This is his family's property. They're saying the people that the house burned down obviously knew Jake's family and I guess used to party with him and everything else, which I mean, I would believe that, right? And supposedly partying, you know, in Jake and Rebecca's world is getting high and doing drugs. Think about that. Getting high and doing drugs, right? So if word got out that Jake and Rebecca were partying with the people across the street, getting high and doing drugs, some people were saying that the house across the street was cooking. They had a lab going on. I don't know if it's true. And they were sent to burn it down because of that. So, but we never really hear a lot of why that house got burnt down, right? So that's one thing. Read some of these chats. I'm a widow and I have been with my man for 12 years. Now he calls me his wife. Maybe her first husband said that too. You know, possibly because they're not saying if she was legally married to him. You know, who knows? They're not saying that part. Anybody know how old are the kids that she left? Somebody did mention earlier it was 2 daughters. So are they teenagers? I'm going to believe she probably obtained a divorce by stating she did not know last address and you can run up to. Oh, yeah. As long as so you're right. Dee Dee is absolutely right. There's a trick into how you can get a divorce. And especially if the spouse is not around or doesn't care. You run an ad in a newspaper. There's no more newspapers, but you run an ad somewhere saying you're looking for so-and-so. And if that person never responds, you can't find them, then you go to the court and say, this person abandoned, left me, vanished. I tried to look for him. Here's proof. And then what they'll do is they'll grant you a divorce based off that. You are right about that. A lot of people don't know that. She also has a domestic violence on Travis. So she has a domestic violence too. You sent me a video. Was it to my email? To the Marcel@raymarcel.com? I'll check that. So Rebecca's kids are both over 18. You're saying that when she left, they're both over 18. Because Rebecca's what, 41 or 42? 41, 42, right? Let's see here. Rebecca Harrell. Let's see something. Because you just said that she had a domestic charges. Let's see, X. See what pops up. These people are not talking about much in the main media about certain things, right? But remember, the sheriff and the DA said, oh, you guys can stop looking because we know the facility or the area where he's located at don't look like it to me. I don't even see the area y'all even looking in. Are they even still looking? That's the part. But go back to that fire. So we were talking about that fire, right? And some people are saying that's connection. Now, some people are even asking if Emmanuel was even theirs. I got sent some emails. It was about last week. I just didn't bring it up, but I got sent some emails. And in the email was a picture of a missing baby with a missing mother. The baby kind of looked like Emmanuel before Emmanuel had the cross-eyed, because they show pictures of Emmanuel when he was younger and he didn't have the cross-eyed, so they looked very familiar. I'm not saying it's the same kid, and I didn't really dig into that yet. I'm going to dig into these two missing people. It's a missing baby and a missing mom, and it's around the timeline adds up, right? And I saw a comment on my last video. Hold on, let me see if I can pull this comment up, you guys. There's a comment on my last video. Watch this comment. Where somebody's even asking, and it makes sense. Let's see here. See if I can find the comment. Yes, somebody made a comment that. All right, here we go. So I want to say, okay, here we go. So I got a comment right here. Let me pull this up, pull over to the screen so you guys can see it. All right. So I have a comment right here. This is on the last video I did 3 days ago. The comment says the baby's real mother got deported, and these two idiots sold the baby, then changed their mind after. That's why no birth certificate. There's blood all over the home from the woman who was a migrant, and she gave birth, I guess, inside the house. That's why they don't shed any real tears. So basically what the comment is saying is that Emmanuel's mother is actually a migrant, and the migrant was at the house, gave birth to Emmanuel, and that's why there was blood. Remember, they said they found all this blood. That's why there was blood there. And supposedly the mother got deported, and they ended up keeping Emmanuel. And that's why there's no real tears or nothing about the baby, because it's not even theirs to begin with. Do you think this could be true? And if it is true, where did this person get this comment from? Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, Jamie. Yeah, where did this person get this comment from? I literally just read this comment because I wasn't going to go live. I was just going to do a regular video and upload the video. And I was going to do, not on this topic, actually. I have there's another case that went on in Houston with the 11-year-old boy who was playing ding dong. I'm going to be uploading a video on that. Okay, because there's a lot of stuff that came out on that. So I'm upload a video on that. The 11-year-old boy that was playing ding dong, the guy shot him, and the 11-year-old boy passed away. But I was reading this comment, and I was like, where did they get this comment from? And some of it makes sense. It can make none of us can sit here and say this is not true, just like we can't say it is true. I didn't know she had more. Yeah, who knew she had more kids? Nobody knew she had more kids. Beanie Baby said, yeah, Emmanuel could be AI. I mean, go on TikTok right now on your Facebook feed or your Instagram feed, whatever social media feed you want to go on, and scroll through these reels. And I guarantee you're going to come up with some AI videos, and you're probably going to be questioning, is this real? Until you start looking at comments and, oh, that's AI. I use AI in my thumbnails. I use AI in my marketing business for some of my businesses. I actually use AI in one of my businesses. You call the number, you think you're talking to a real person, but you're really talking to AI. And even in the background, a lady is typing and everything else. You think it's a real person you're talking to, but it's actually AI. So AI is all around us. Affordable Baskets by Donna says that could be a lot. Make sure y'all get a basket by Donna. What kind of basket you got, Donna? Let us know. Do you remember when Jake read the Emmanuel site? It said missing, and Jake said missing. Hogan says, do you remember when Jake read the Emmanuel sign? It said missing. And Jake said, huh. Yeah, that comment is very detailed. Like, this comment is detailed to the T. It's like this person was there, a neighbor, and they know what happened. They left the comment of the evidence right there on my YouTube channel. That comment is very, like you said, detailed. And it's so detailed that it makes sense. And and nowhere am I saying that this is true. This is fact. Emmanuel could be, Rebecca and Jake's. He could be, but there's no evidence saying he's not. We don't know if they stole this kid. We don't know if that's his real mother, his real father. But you look at this and you're like, dang, that makes a lot of sense. The real mom got deported and they kept the baby, and that's why there was no tears. That's why there was forget it. Like, they just, forget the kid. And if they did, like, remember when they said the police went in there and all the baby stuff was gone? That's probably why it was so easy for them to get. It could be a reason why it was easy for them to get rid of all that stuff, because the kid wasn't theirs in the first. Wouldn't that be something? The kid was never theirs in the first place. Wouldn't that be something? Said there's no record of his existence. They could have never made a report and got away with it. So obviously someone must have took him. Oh, man. Said Jake probably knocked Rebecca at home because she opposed to the transaction and knocked her out. He proceeded with the sale. So they're saying that, because when you click on it, there's more. They're saying that Jake probably sold him. And then the comment says, remember, they were desperate for money, going to pawn shops. And why haven't the police used dogs when searching for a baby? Are they so they're saying, because remember, before they got arrested, before all this happened, remember, they were going to pawn shops. There's evidence of them going into pawn shops, pawning coins, supposedly that Rebecca stole out of somebody's house. They're not talking about that either. Supposedly Rebecca committed some burglary, or she's pawned a coin that was burglarized somebody's house, but they were going around pawning things, so they were in need of money. Because remember, they weren't working. They were on workman's comp. I pulled up Jake's workman's comp history. He was on 6 different workman comps, or whatever it was. So they didn't have any money. They only had 1 car, so they weren't well off. So is it possible that he could have got sold for some money? And it makes sense if Emmanuel wasn't theirs to begin with. I'm just saying, if the kid's not yours to begin with, from somebody's like, hey, I'll buy this baby off you. Hey, could be possible. Yeah, maybe they didn't live there. I know one thing, I need to get a new camera. Let me see here, or I should say a camera with a better battery.
Updates in regards to
hold on real quick. Let me change this battery. Be right back in 20 seconds.
He could be in the Badlands. He could be in the middle of the desert. He could be anywhere at this point, because I still believe that this boy disappeared way before the 14th of August. And of course, police are starting to get behind that theory a little bit more as they start to do more investigation into this case. But one thing is for sure, baby has not been found. One thing is really frustrating about this is that police are out here saying, yeah, we got a general idea of where that baby could be. But I have not heard any reports. Now, of course, I could be wrong. Let me just say that really quick. But I have not heard any reports about this baby about them looking for the baby. I haven't even heard or seen any coverage of police out there combing the areas, trying to find this baby boy. They're saying that they have a general idea, but I don't even see them in the general area of where the idea was given. You see what I'm saying? So it's very...
I just said that. I said the same thing. If they supposedly know where he's at, remember in the press conference, we have an idea of an area. They're not even out. They're not even in the idea of the area looking. We don't see them looking for anything. The only time we saw them looking was that Sunday when Jake was out there with them in a red jumpsuit. That was the only time we saw them looking. That was it. And they never made a report saying they found anything or anything, you know? And then the DA got up there and was rude. And then the sheriff got up there and called everybody keyboard warriors and that we need to stop. And that was it. Baby is not 7 months. The baby was closer to 9 months. You think the baby was older than what they're giving us? She did have a baby stroller, but you can't tell if there is a baby in it. If she just pushes it around, yes. Well, did they have any animals? Did they have any pets? You said they had a baby stroller, but let's see, here in Florida, people are pushing around. I got a neighbor right now pushing around a stroller, but when you look in a stroller, it's her poodle or her dog. There's not even a baby in there. So, oh, they owed a dealer. I mean, hey. Last week, I pulled up records of Charlie. Charlie, the nephew who passed away that Rebecca went to. Charlie was a drug addict. He was arrested over 21 times, and every single charge almost had to do with drugs. He was doing meth head behavior. Jake Harrow and Rebecca are supposedly get high all the time, and they do drugs. And if they're out pawning things to get money, you know, I'm not saying that's drug head behavior because a lot of us sometimes will have to pawn stuff to get money. But if they're pawning stolen items, like supposedly what Rebecca did, that's drug head behavior. You know, that's meth head, whatever you want to call it. That's behavior of what they do. So if that's the case, you know, it just kind of makes sense that what you just said, maybe they owe the dealer some money. Because, yeah, if they're all doing drugs. Oh, and Jake's brother Hector, remember, he died supposedly from an overdose in the same house. So he was on drugs too. And I've been saying this from day one. You should never catch anybody ODing in my house. Why? Because I don't even do drugs. So if I ain't doing them, you're not allowed to do in my house. You gotta get out. The DA was like, yeah, Jake, let's go for some fresh air, and goes to the field to make like he confessed. Hey, yeah, it could have been all for the camera. When they went to the field, it could have been all for the camera. It could have been all for the camera. I agree with that. But yeah, I was just interesting when I saw that comment posted under my YouTube video about Emmanuel's mother being a migrant and she got deported. What would make you think about something like that? Why when you lay down and think about the story, is that what you think of in your head? And I wish this person was on live right now. I wish they're on live right now so I can ask them, like, how did you figure that out? Where did it come up from? You know? And you leave it on my channel. Now I'm gonna get indicted. Like, what? But that's crazy. And what if they did? What if that was the case? What if Emmanuel wasn't theirs? That would explain maybe why they don't have the compassion or the empathy that we as parents think that they should have, right? As a parent myself, you would think you would have more compassion. You would actually have real tears. You would actually have something going on. Not everybody handles grief differently. Nobody handles grief the same. But that's what started all this. It was them going on TV, fake crying, and it didn't even look real. It didn't even look real. And that's what started all this. And people were just like, whoa. And like the comment said, and I've been saying this if they never would have went on TV and made a fuss about this, we would not be sitting here talking about it, and they probably be at home right now getting high, pawning stolen goods. You know, and probably just getting arrested for burglary or whatever. And that's probably it. But we wouldn't even know who Jake and Rebecca is. And then, I don't know if you guys saw that one video I brought out with, right? In the one video back in 2009, a lady by the name of Rebecca, but she spelled her name with a H. This Rebecca's not a H, but had the same last name. How do you say the name? What Rebecca's mom, Mary Bushinson or whatever, Bushinson or Bushinson. In 2009, there was a woman named Rebecca Bushinson who went on a mommy bloggers site, because mommy bloggers was, I guess, big in 2009, and started posting that she was about to give birth to a disabled child. And then come to find out, when she gave birth, she posted pictures, and the picture of the baby was a fake baby. It was a living doll baby. And then she got exposed. And then when she came out and apologized, like, I guess months later, and then said the reason why she did it was because she got addicted to the attention. She got addicted to the attention, you know? And until this day, I've always asked, is this the same Rebecca or is it a different Rebecca? I can't find anything that shows me if this is the same Rebecca or a different Rebecca. There's nothing that proves that. There's no Rebecca giving an interview for this. There's some pictures, but you don't know who those pictures belong. I mean, there's no proof. So I always wonder if that is the same Rebecca who did that back in 2009 with a fake baby. It just, you know, and now she's back out again trying to get, you know, I guess clout or, you know, this addiction for another kid or another baby. It's very odd. Very weird. A true mother would cry, Jamie says. I would hope so. I mean, I'm a father, I would cry. Let's see what here. What we all getting indicted. Hey, y'all ever seen that movie with Jim Carrey? It was a Jim Carrey movie. What was it? What was the movie? Fun with Dick and Jane. You ever seen that movie? We're getting indicted. We're getting indicted. Let's see. Donna says, Jake's brother's best friend say he didn't think he overdosed. He worked and was a good dad, nothing like Jake. The man didn't like Jake and said when he went to the funeral, they told him different. So you're saying Jake's brother's best friend say he didn't think he overdosed. He worked and was a good dad, nothing like Jake. So my question would be, if that's the case, now the rumor or the story is Hector was staying at the house. They don't say how long, but he was supposed to be staying, even though he didn't live there, he was staying at the house. I know the property is big and there's like a shed out in the back and things like that. But if he was staying at the house, what for? Was Hector going through any issues if he didn't get along with Jake? And if he wasn't at the house, was one of them in, I guess, in the back shed, or whatever you want to call it, one of them in the front house? That would be my question to that one. You know, or was he over there trying to be a brother and make amends? And did something happen and they get into an argument? Because there was no autopsy done. As far as I know, everything I looked, there was no autopsy done on Hector, none whatsoever. So some people are saying the blood that was found on the floor could be Hector's. Some people are saying that. And you can't take the baby to the hospital if you're not the parent. You don't have the babies. You know what? Interesting. Actually, let's think about this first. That's a good comment. Beanie Baby said you can't take the baby to the hospital if you're not the parent and you don't have the baby's paperwork. So let's just say, hypothetical, you have this baby. You have this baby. Even if you gave birth to the baby or didn't give birth to the baby, but you didn't do it in a hospital. So like there's no paperwork, no birth certificate, no nothing. But you have this baby and you bring it to a doctor's visit, or you do bring the baby to the hospital. What do you think's going to happen? When they start asking you questions, who's the baby's primary physician? Where was the baby born? Because the hospital is going to have records. So if you lie and say, oh, it was born at such and such hospital, and they call and say there was no baby born here. No. So what's going to happen? His best friend said that, let's see here. The dad died. Who? Whose dad died? Oh, Rebecca's name. So Rebecca's mom's name is Mary. Here, I'll pull it up right now. I can never pronounce this last name. It's very hard for me because the last name is not a common name whatsoever. Bushin, somebody left a comment one time telling me how to pronounce this name. Yeah, here it is. This is Rebecca's mom's name. Mary Bushinson is Rebecca's mom's name. So there was a lady back in 2009 named Rebecca Bushinson, because this is not a common name. I've never seen this name into this case. Only difference was that Rebecca in 2009 had an H at the end of Rebecca. But Rebecca Bushinson, I believe in 2009, was supposed to be in her 20s, which would add up because Rebecca right now is 41 or 42. And she faked the baby in 2009 and was literally made the news, ABC News. But we don't know if Rebecca ever had the last name of Bushinson. I don't know. I tried to look it up, but I could not find it. See, the family told the man that he died in his sleep and they cremated him fast. So they cremated Hector. Is that what's happened? See, I didn't know they cremated him. Wow. So they cremated Hector. That's why there was no autopsy. Interesting. So if he did die from Jake, I wonder what would have happened. Well, do you think that the funeral director or anybody who does the cremation would see a wound on the body like, hey, this looks odd? Or do you think they would just, here, let me just cremate him real quick? Rebecca's last name was Buchenheier, and her brother was adopted. Her brother's serving 50 years. James is her brother. I did a story on the whole family. James actually unalived his girl, and James tried to make it look like she unalived herself. He knocked her out, put her in the bathtub, and then wrapped himself in a shower curtain, and then took a pistol, put it between her eyes, and then let it go, and then tried to say that she did it herself. And to this day, Rebecca's mom, Mary, is saying James is innocent. There's a whole Facebook page on it. It says Justice for James. She's saying that he's innocent and that she did it herself to this day. Your brother OD'd and the girl with him watched. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Jamie. Wow, I'm so sorry. The girl with him watched him. So she just watched. She didn't call the police. She didn't do anything, trying to do CPR. Nothing. She just watched him. Oh, so Jake's dad passed. Yeah, I believe he did pass away. Because last I saw, the property is in a trust. So the property is in a family trust or something like that. Bushhausen. Thank you, Joyce. Bushhausen. I can never pronounce that name for nothing. Bushhausen. So I just got to think of the beer. Bushhausen. Yeah, I saw that too, that Rebecca was adopted. So, but if she was adopted, you think they would have gave her the last name Bushhausen, right? Mary's last name, the mom's last name. So, I mean, if you adopt a kid, are you going to give him your last name? So she didn't do anything and the cops didn't catch her? Are you serious? So she's actually out to this day, living her life. Wow. Jake's dad passed and Hector was close to him. So maybe, yeah, he was going through something. So Hector was close to the dad. Interesting. So Mary adopted, so she adopted James and Rebecca. So they're not real brothers and sisters. She adopted them. So I guess she did give them her last name, right? Because James had the last name. So Rebecca, I guess, had to have the last name too, right? Because she gave it to James. Interesting. That explains why when James was in court, it kept saying James' sister, but it was a different name I never saw before. So maybe that was James's real sister talking in court. Kaiman. Wow. Yeah, so that would have to be, let's see what happens when you, see, that was how I got into how I found that 2009 article with Rebecca, here we go with that name. Here we go with that name. Please don't make fun of me. With Rebecca Bushhausen. How I found that name was we were all Googling Rebecca Haro. We were all Googling that, right? And I was like, wait. Let me put the mom's last name because that's probably her last name too at one point. And that's when the 2009 article popped up. It took me like 3 or 4 pages down, but it popped up. And that's when I was like, whoa. Funny this is going on. If Mary said Rebecca wanted a boy really bad, maybe Mary gave her Emmanuel. Yeah, Jamie, that right there that sucks. That sucks. That she's still out and living her life, and she watched that happen to your brother. Yeah, that's not cool at all. There should be a movie after. Hey, you know, hey, you want to hear something about this? Since this is a public case, any one of us can actually put a little movie together and not get sued because it's a public case. So if it's public, hold on, let me make sure I got this right before I tell y'all something. If somebody end up going to jail or getting sued, let me see. Let me see how this works. Yes, you can make a movie based on a public case, but you must take careful steps to avoid legal issues like defamation. So yes, any one of us right now can make a movie out of this if we really wanted to. But here's the thing. None of them were found guilty yet. So in the movie, if you make a movie and let's say in those scenes you have Jake and Rebecca doing things that there's no facts on them doing, let's say they're out there in the field and they're burying Emmanuel or something like that in your movie, you can get sued for defamation, especially at the end of the case that didn't happen. But any one of us can make a movie on this. The cops did come to the house for Hector's death. There was a list of calls to that property dated back. Yes, Joyce, you're right. I actually brought up, I wish I still had it. I pulled up a list of all the calls that were made to that house, actually. And there was a lot of calls that were made to the house. Some of those calls, I didn't know what they were for because they were in police code. So it would be like PS 904. Some of them I had to Google. It will pop up. And then some of them Google, it wouldn't pop up. So you didn't know what that call was for. There was even a couple cases where the cops came twice in a day. So yeah, they were there a couple times. And not only that, you want to talk about meth head tendencies. They got called, I want to say it was like 5 times in a year for theft. It didn't say who was stealing, but it said for theft. We're all getting indicted for the movie. So yeah, we're going to get indicted for the comment left on my YouTube page and indicted for the movie. Let's see. Aranda Brones, the 16 went missing in Moreno Valley. Sure, brothers still in prison for it. Without it, I never found her, but they had evidence, so maybe these two do time. So, no, I didn't hear about that case. So they never found her, but the person who's accused did get locked up for it. There's people who still get locked up, even though they never found the person. And there's people who go away. I have to Google it. I'm gonna look that up. Don't put music in your movie, though. What? You don't want no music? You don't want no Ice Cube, Today Was a Good Day? Ooh, ah, no. That property has been in the family for a long time. Apparently, it's known as a drug house and has been. That's what I was saying earlier. And Kim, I don't know if you was in here earlier, but I brought up the house across the street that got burnt down. The two homeless people. There was some comments made on one of my YouTube channels saying that the house across the street, actually those people knew the Harrells or the Harrells family, and they used to party together, and they had party like this, basically meaning they did drugs together or whatever. So the house across the street supposedly was involved with some stuff too, and that's why they burnt it down. There wasn't no evidence. I need them to ping the Harrells phone. Ping the Harrells phone, yes. I'm going to look up this case real quick that you said. Aranda Bruns. Let me see something. See if I can find this. Aranda Bruns. So, missing since January 13th, 2019, Moreno Valley. She would be 23 years old right now. What? Yeah, I've never heard of this one. So supposedly he offed her because he blamed her for getting him expelled from school? A California man who blamed his former classmate for getting him expelled from school and then offed her was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Owen Skylar Shover, 23, was found guilty of the M-word in August in connection with 2019 of 16-year-old Aranda Browns. They were classmates. She was never found. Interesting. I need to look into that. I want to know how they convicted him. What evidence did they have? Hold on real quick. Authorities said that on the morning of 2017, Arana decided to skip class and hang out with friends, including Shover, at a local park. The group fled the area after they were spotted by a sheriff's school resource officer. Shover, who was allegedly carrying a hand, gave the weapon to Arana and told her to hide it. The teen panicked and tossed it into the drainage canal. Okay, so this was how he got expelled, because he told her to hide it and then she panicked. So I'm guessing he got expelled over that. That's his fault. That is his fault. Come on now. You shouldn't have been carrying it in the first place. So both students were expelled, not just him, but her too. She was last seen January 13th, 2019, getting into a car. So, that's how he got found. Okay, so that's one thing right there. He's already connected to her disappearance because she's the last person he was seen with by a witness. So he drove her supposedly to the San Bernardino Mountains too. Interesting. Yeah, I've never heard about this case. Yeah, never heard about. So yeah, he got sentenced, huh? Interesting. And they still never found her. You know what? What if she is alive and she just pops up? So what happens with his sentence? What do they do then? If this woman's alive and she pops up, I'm not saying she is, but what if she is and she pops up? Then what do they do? Do they have to release him like right away? Thanks for showing me that article. Yeah, I've never heard of that one. What's never been talked about is the alleged found in the baby's room by the crib. How did you know about that, Kim? Where'd you see that at? I've never heard that till you just mentioned that just now. Yeah, I've never heard about that. Was that on the news? That's crazy. I've never heard about that. A video. I'm gonna try and see if I can find. Yeah, I've never heard that they found a weapon next to the crib. So there was a crib in there still. All the clothes are gone, but there was a crib. Ah, okay. All right. TikTok got everything. Got everything. They got anything from cooking recipes to conspiracy theories to how to break out of prison to how to sneak your cell phone in prison to how to get away with 8 wives. I mean, TikTok got everything, don't it? If they found that, why would they leave that house unsealed? You know what, Lisa? That I asked that question a few videos ago. All right. You know why I asked that question? Remember the Idaho. Remember the Utah? Was it Utah or Idaho? The 4 kids. The guy just pled guilty. He unalive in the forest, college students. I can't remember if it was Utah or Idaho though. Which y'all let me know. But he went in there and unalived them while they were asleep in the middle of the night and stuff like that. I think it was Brian Kohlberger. Do you remember how long they had a police officer in front of that house? Do you guys remember that? Every freaking day, a night, anytime a news camera was there, there was an officer sitting in front of that house. They had an officer there in front of the house for the longest time. Supposedly, Jake's house, right after they got arrested and searched the house, no more officers, no nothing. So the house is just free-nilly. Go do what the hell you want. That's why that one guy broke in there, was doing tours. So did they find all the evidence? Usually when they leave a house alone, is when they find all the evidence they need, one, or the case is over, right? So for example, they impounded Jake and Rebecca's car, right? I'm pretty sure that car is in the evidence because that's the last time the baby was there. And I'm pretty sure nobody can pick up that car probably until this case is over with, because you're going to need that car because that's the last place they said the baby was the car. So it's like the murder weapon. They're not going to go sell the murder weapon in the middle. No, they got to keep that. So did they find all the evidence just in one day and they were like, oh, we did it. We did our job. So bye. Yeah, I saw that. The sister Googled how to feed a baby with it. I saw Idaho. Yep, Idaho. Thank you. Yeah, they had a cop in front of that house every moment of the day. You heard about nobody broke into that house because it was guarded. They went in that house and we all saw it live on TV. They went into the house, the police did. Remember, and they came out with boxes of files. They came out with all the evidence you can probably think of. Remember that? All kind of stuff. And they still had a cop in front of the house guarding it, so nobody can go mess anything up, just in case they forgot something. Because think about it. They had to do all that, right? Just in case. But this house, nah. And supposedly the sheriff's office is right down the street. That's what I heard. Sheriff's office is right down the street. So they couldn't have a guy to sit in front of the house. Like, yeah, I thought that was kind of weird. So if he was in the car, do they need to look on the way to the Big Five store? As in, like, look at the cameras as the car is going to the Big Five? Is that what you mean? Yeah, just like the one I was just reading here. I can see how he got caught. Or why I'm not caught but found guilty. The case I was just reading that Bean Baby told me to pull up. About the woman who's still missing and this guy got sentenced to life even though she's still missing. He was the last connection. And the connection was her getting into his car. So since he was the last connection, there's a witness on that. He's connected to it, so the same thing with Rebecca, the baby in the car. That's the last connection. So I heard that area they're in. I grew up in California. I grew up in Los Angeles, but that area of Cali, I'm not too familiar with where they live at. It's a little small area and a lot of land. I do know that because I've driven through it a couple times. But I don't know how many cameras they have on the street lights and things. That part I don't know. For example, I was just in Miami this last weekend and every corner had a camera. Every building had a camera. You ain't doing nothing out there and getting away with it. There's a camera everywhere. Yeah, I'll take a look at that video. I definitely will. Oh, did she leave it somewhere? Leave him on the somewhere? Hey, people are wondering that too. Like, because remember the police did say. Remember the police said after 24 hours after they made the report, they said that they went to Big Five and they saw no evidence of a kidnapping. So if there's no evidence of a kidnapping, I'm thinking they found some cameras somewhere. They're probably just not telling us. But one of those businesses had to have a camera that shows the parking lot somewhere. I went on one of my videos when this first happened, and I went on Google Satellite. It looked like there was a bank across the street. That's what it looked like. And the bank across the street got to have a camera on the outside of it. It has to. Ain't no bank with no camera. I ain't never seen a bank without a camera on the outside. They have big shopping centers over there. Oh, I didn't know that. Are they like outlets? Yeah, I've only driven through there. I look at that place almost like, what's the other place? It reminds me of, what is it, Parrish, California? I didn't even know there was a Paris or whatever it is, California. And two, I had to go there one time, I think pick up a friend. I was like, where are you at? He was like, Paris. I'm like, what? Paris? So that was a liquor store across. Oh, there is a liquor store across the street. Yeah, they got it. And we know a liquor store got camera. Come on now. We know a liquor store got the camera. Yeah, so if they saw there was no kidnapping, right? Then they're probably wondering, like, where's Emmanuel at to begin with? You didn't even have him. So it goes back. Did she bury him with the nephew? Hey, I'm just saying. That would have been the perfect opportunity to put him with the nephew. If she could have figured out how to do it. Yeah, this case is definitely been weird. Some weird turns going on. Mary Bushison. Yeah, Mary's also a weirdo too. Rebecca's mom. I don't know if y'all seen. I went on her Facebook and saw some of the stuff she was posting. Looked like she was posting some racist things too. She is a weirdo. But yeah, I don't know. That's on Mary's Facebook page, or from her Facebook page. Wonder whose car he's in right there. I don't think that's Mary's car, the mom, because I see a hockey hat back here. And I'm not saying she wouldn't wear a hockey hat, but she doesn't look like the hockey hat type. That looks like that could be a Jake Harrell type right there. So it might have been their car. I don't know, but very, very weird. There was a white car pulled up. No one got out. That's the footage to confront Rebecca about. Even lawyers said it shows her hit ground and get up. Didn't say anything about an Ola bandit. So wait. Let me get this right. So Rebecca supposedly really did hit the ground and get up on her own. She made it look like she got hit, but didn't. Where did you send that video? You say you sent it to my email. Was that my email you sent it to? Let me see. see if I could find this video. Hey, Bean Baby, where'd you send the video? Was it my email? Because I do have somebody sent me something. And I was trying to make out what it is, but I really couldn't make it out. JRL, is it? Oh yeah, JRL is the one that has he's the one that has the phone, starts up with the phone and the camera. Breaking news, breaking news. Is that JRL? I actually just came across him not long ago. Breaking news, and has the phone and the camera. Well, look at us, armchair detectives trying to figure this case out. Trying to solve the case for the police. And even if we did solve the case, they wouldn't take nothing from us. And then if they did take something from us and they let up something, none of us would get the credit. It would go to the sheriff because he's running for mayor for your state or governor or whatever. The sheriff is running to run your whole state. What was his name? Brian something. I can't remember his name. Oh, my email. So is it the one that is your email? Hold on. I don't want to put your real name out there. Hold up. Are you the one that sent me this? Are you the one that sent me this right here? Was this you? And there's a video too I'm trying to upload right now that was sent. So is this you right here? All right. Oh yeah, so I did see this. I was trying to make out what it is. All right, so is this a camera for one of the stores? Is that what this is? Oh, so JR, so he's the one that talks about the weapon that was found. Okay. I didn't realize this video was 2 minutes, 30 something seconds. I didn't realize that. I think because I pulled this video up on my phone and it really didn't show much. All right, so here's a white car. That's what you guys are talking about, the white car? Don't worry, you got nothing to hide. All right. We all getting indicted anyway. I don't know. The person in the chat, Bean Baby, sent this to me actually in my email a couple days ago, or a few days ago, and I'm just now showing you guys. I wish I could make this bigger. All right, there's a white SUV. There's a white SUV right there. So is that the white SUV you guys are talking about? And it parked. I don't see anybody getting out of it though. Interesting. And where is this video from? What store was this? Somebody said it was the store next to the Big Five. All credit for this video goes to Bean Baby. Thank you. Yeah, I was trying to figure out how to zoom in on this damn thing. I can't figure it out. How to zoom in on here, though. On whatever. Hold on, let me see. And then, yeah, you sent this picture of a Zoom as well. Oh, yeah, Didi, you know, they would take our glory, especially if he's running for, you know, governor or whatever he's running for. He's running for the governor of Florida. Of course he's going to take the glory and take all the blame, or all the credit, I should say. He's going to take it all. What if that baby Rebecca's holding this video or picture's fake? what if it's not even, what if it's a fake baby? Hey, if she faked out knocking herself out, who's to say she wasn't holding a baby doll this whole time? Like she had a baby, but it really wasn't. I would not be shocked. Down the Rabbit Hole. I'm gonna search that. Down the Rabbit Hole. Hey, that's a good YouTube name. I wish I thought of that. Down the Rabbit Hole. They must have had that channel for a long time. Thank you, Lisa. Time is 11. All right. I'm gonna be uploading a video shortly about, I don't know if you guys heard about the 11-year-old who was out playing in Houston, Texas, was out playing Ding Dong Ditch. I mean, most of us as a kid played that game, right? He was out playing Ding Dong Ditch, and one of the residents or the homeowners shot him, and the kid ended up passing away, and he was 11 years old. And when a lot of the details came out about it, come to find out, I'm going to save a lot of it for the video, but come to find out, let's just say the owner knew he was a kid, and you know, shot at him while he was running away, which is a sad part. But I'm gonna upload that video with that case that's going on. So if you guys want to check that out, because that's interesting. He just got charged, actually. Yeah, 11 years old. Him and another friend, him and a cousin, they were out playing ding dong. They were at a family barbecue and they got bored and was like, "Oh, let's go, play ding dong." Like I said, I've played it when I was a kid. We all played that game. Ring the doorbell and run away. That's what they were doing, ringing the doorbell and running away. And yeah, the guy came out and offed him. And the guy just got charged, actually. And there's a whole reason why the guy got charged, come to find out. There's also an interview with his cousin. His cousin's the same age. His cousin was there and watched the whole thing. Yeah, homeowners should have never done that. Never. And then there's details that's you're gonna even look at the homeowner even worse. Like it wasn't even like the homeowner opened the door and the homeowner knew. He watched them the whole time and knew and waited for them to run off. And then the kids were down the street and then started firing. That's what made it even worse. It was like he was. And then when they raided his house, he had something like, I want to say 8 or 9 AR-15s. He had a lot of weapons in his house, and they raided his house. There's a lot that's going on with that, though. Good question. I know the kids were Spanish. That I know. He is, what is he? He is, when I do the video, because I'm about to do the video there, that's the kid right there. So that's the kid. Like I said, he was 11 years old. And let me see here. I don't know if he was Spanish or white.
A tough story, though, and it's
I don't know. Trying to see if I can bring find his last name. Sometimes the last name will tell you. Let's see here. Hold on. I can do this. Yeah, but I'm about to upload this video in a bit because it's probably be like a 15-minute video with news clips, evidence, and stuff like that. So this is the guy right here. So no, he's Spanish. His name is Julian Guzman. So they were both Spanish. So I don't know if it was a racial factor because they were both Spanish. So I don't know. Unless he thought there was something else. I mean, that could be the case. Yeah, so Texas, I'm going to get into that law in the video too. Texas does have the stand your ground. I'm in Florida. You have the stand your ground here too. But in Texas, stand your ground is when you're feeling threatened, right? Same thing here. You have to feel threatened, like your life is in danger, they're coming at you, or they're on your property. This case, the kids were not on his property. He waited for them to leave, and not only that, they were running. So he got shot in the back. So they were running away, not even on his property when he started firing. So because of that, he was no longer in the stand your ground. And the way it happened before he even started firing, just watch, you'll see. Watch the video when I put the video out. Before they even run, he knows that these are children. He knew from the start. There was no mistaking. You can't mistake an 11-year-old child. Where's his picture at? Where is he at? And he didn't have the kid didn't have a mask on or nothing. You can't mistake this 11-year-old child for a grown man. I'm sorry. You even if you see the face, you know that's a child. You can't mistake him for a grown man. So there's even video because people have Ring doorbells, right? So there's video. It shows the two kids, just playing and going about their day because they were bored. I believe in defending your home. I believe in you should be able to do what you have to do to defend your home if somebody breaks in your house. Don't get me wrong. I believe in that because if somebody breaks in my house, yeah, it's on. Or if somebody comes knocking on my door, yeah. But if they down the street and running away, a little different story, especially if it's kids. that part they're not saying. The cousin. Wait till you hear about the cousin. I feel bad for his cousin. His cousin's like 10 years old and was with him. It's very it's very sad. And the guy who did it, him and his wife, they tried to escape too. They tried to leave town, and yeah, I'm gonna finish up that video and upload that for you guys, because at first when it first happened, I wasn't gonna talk about or report that, you know. But then as I start seeing more details of it, I was like, oh no, this is wrong. This has to go out there. This is wrong. Because the problem is the media is telling us about it, but the media is not all the media stations are giving us all the details, I'm realizing. Yes, they're glorizing that 11-year-old kid, you know, playing ding dong, but they're not telling you the actual details of why this guy needs to be facing what he's facing. That part they're skipping on, I'm realizing. I'm glad you found it, Dee. Make sure you like, subscribe, put your notifications on. I'm going to be uploading the video soon. You have a good night, all right? He probably was. Probably was. All right, you guys, I'm going to get off of here. Kids got school in the morning, you know. Got to get them up, take them to school. But I got to get off here. I'm going to upload the video with about the 11-year-old boy, okay? You guys stay tuned to that. I'm going to upload that video. And then let me know what you think about that. Comment on that, things like that. I'm going to try and hit you guys another live tomorrow night, all right? You guys be good. Thank everybody for joining. Thanks for the super chats. Make sure you guys get a basket by Donna. All right? You guys been good people.